Welcome back to another point 3 live stream Wednesday. To all you point 3 people, it's February. No, it's not February. I am in the past. It is Wednesday, March 20th, with myself, Spreader Brando, Funko Lou,
What up?
2/3 of your favorite trio of hosts, as Hero is dealing with some stuff right now. So wish him the best. We are back to discuss the latest superhero news, pop culture,
Yes.
things, and notes from the past week. Wasn't too much this week compared to weeks past, but had some good stuff. X-Men 97 dropped today.
Blessings.
So I know, Lou,
Pure
you watched
blessings.
it. If you wanted to take the floor on some thoughts real quick.
Listen, shout out Dill. What's going on, man? I know you saw me hyping in Discord, but oh my gosh, like X-Men 97 hit the ground running. The trailers did not lie to us. Marvel Animation, if this is what you're going to be doing, build your own universe and I will watch that day one. Like, this was such a good jumpstart to the series. The quotes that they had in this, the characters, just you felt for everyone within the first 15 minutes. I think I paused it and I sent it to you guys and I was like, this is just gold. And 100%. I have not talked to one person who I know is remotely like, and just a casual MCU fan at minimum, or people who just haven't seen it at all. They're just like, oh yeah, I'll watch this. And it's just like, wow. Highly recommend watching this as soon as possible. So good. And they've done my guy Cyclops just so much justice. Storm is a beast. Wolverine is like, everyone is just so good. It's the quotes. Like, one of my favorite quote, I had to write this down. I literally stopped and I wrote it down. And Cyclops is talking about like taking over for Professor X, right? No secret, it's all from the trailers. And they're talking about like trust. And he's like, trust happens when actions meet words. And I was like, yeah, dang, like that was just like prove it. Oh, so good.
I like that.
So good. So good.
What would you rate the first 2 episodes?
I don't know, man. I would put this up there against some of your favorite anime.
Damn.
Yeah. Legit. No questions. No questions. The visuals, the sounds, the cast, the actors, all the voice actors that they got, perfect. The story, legit. Like, it's just so good. It's so good. I will say this is one of my last things. There's one more quote that, like, that there's a battle between the mutants and the humans, and you really get a sense of the humans that are here, the fear that they have of being left behind. And you get this quote of like, oh, well, humans can tolerate mutants. Like, we can live in harmony. We can live together. And someone drops a bomb and they're like, tolerance is extinction.
Damn.
And the stuff that they're saying in this is just deep, man. Like, it goes so hard with the quotes from these first 2 episodes. Yeah, check back next week because we're definitely going to have some huge reactions to this show.
I'm super excited to get into it tonight. But moving on to some general movie news before we bring it back to Marvel. We got some Star Wars news. I feel like we haven't been getting much of that recently with the Acolyte trailer. Had dropped yesterday, poster 2 days ago. And
great poster,
pretty good.
Yeah,
that poster got me sold. Not sold, but the poster got me hyped when they first dropped that. And the trailer got me hyped too. I really enjoyed it. I am interested in the series and isn't something that I was just kind of like not hoping for, but exciting for it. What's up, JT? Welcome in.
JT.
He's actually the Super Review Show. So if you're not following or subscribed to the Super Review Show, shout out to them and go
Yes.
subscribe to them.
Go check them out.
Oh.
Go check them out. But
So
yeah,
did you say
re-
your hype level is up for Star Wars again?
you know what, I was looking at this and I watched the trailer a couple more times, and I'm stuck on this whole like Dune Star Wars kind of conundrum that I have going on right now of like, do I really want to go down that sci-fi rabbit hole deeper than I already am? Star Wars has me excited to learn more about the lore of that
Mm-hmm.
franchise and the universe, and just how deep can the rabbit hole kind of go. And I think it puts everyone kind of on an even playing field with some newer storylines that are coming out, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited for it. The trailer looked, I thought I was watching something for a movie, and I was like, whoa, I forgot this is Disney Plus. So yeah, I'm hyped.
Definitely
I'm
did
hyped.
not look like no freaking CW Madam Web ass trailer. But another trailer reaction that we got was something that we have talked about a couple months ago.
Mhm.
Suicide Squad Isekai anime had its first like official full-length trailer that's not like a little teaser or anything. And I'm stoked for it. I know
Same.
we had the whole couple episodes or combos in the past of like how good it could be for animation in general, and just how cool of a concept it is to see DC characters animated.
Yeah.
And I'm sold. Oh, the animation
I
looks
am
so
too.
crispy
I am
in
too.
there. It looks so crispy. The voice acting, at least the subbed voice acting, sounded
Right.
pretty damn solid. And it just has such an anime feel to it,
Totally.
which is what I really like.
I'm really excited. Well, one thing that I love is the art style and just kind of the faces and how everything's drawn, and really capturing, taking characters that we know we're very familiar with and putting them in this world. I'm curious to see how much of a focal point Harley is in this show, because I feel like she's definitely going to be that MC. But kind of how everyone gets their time. There's always one thing for every good anime. Your favorite characters always have that one signature moment. They do something, and I feel like they have a lot of good casts of characters for the Suicide Squad that can each do something where you're just like, damn, this is awesome. So it looks great. I'm gonna expect really good things from this. So yeah, stay tuned for when we do episode reviews for that.
Do you think you're gonna be watching it weekly or try to binge it all at once?
You know what? I think I might take the plunge and stick weekly with this. My only concern is if I binge it, I might not binge it as soon as it's done. You know what I mean? Like I might push this down the road. It's what I tend to do with a lot of anime, is like let them stack, and then my watch list is so long.
Dude, that's me with JJK right now. I still have to finish JJK season 2, and all my friends keep sending me like, here's like clips or videos, edits. Apparently they just changed something in like the last fight and added in like more scenes or something to make it even better. And I was like, I can't even watch this video right now.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny that you say that. I watched Shangri-La Frontier, and I caught up to that.
Shangri-La.
It's not
I
bad.
haven't heard of that before.
It's pretty good. I think it's featured on Crunchyroll, but if you check it out, it's fun. If you're a gamer and you like kind of that style, like kind of like the RPG kind of style play, and just seeing how they do it in an anime style and following the characters and what they do, good story. It's interesting. The fight scenes are just like chef's kiss. But I jumped back on JJK, and I know what happens in the Shibuya incident, but seeing it animated is just,
oh god, probably so much better.
Oh my gosh, it's clutch. I love Gojo so much.
I've heard some great. I've heard so much about this season. It's got anime of the year. I need to get into it. It's been far too long.
I would say it's good enough to make it a priority for sure.
Okay. Well, next up, we got Sonic 3,
Mhm.
my potential sleeper movie of the year. Done filming, according to James Marsden. And still seems like it'll be very on pace for that December 20th, 2024 release. Boy, I can't wait for that. And now that I
Yeah.
think about it, it is 9 months from today. Gets me hyped.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good year for this universe because what Knuckles premieres
Got
April
Knuckles
26th.
in
It's like a
next
month.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm so excited for both of
So
them.
I think they're dropping all the episodes at once.
I
I
think
think.
so too. I think they did say all available April 26th.
Yeah, all 6. So that should be good. I'm
Kid
excited
Cudi's
for
gonna
that.
be in it, so
Yes.
that gets me hyped.
Yes. That's huge.
In a interesting turn of events with the next new film universe that is starting, we got the POOHNIVERSE. It just feels weird saying it. But from the creators of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, ever since certain Disney characters got released into public domain, certain studio decided to make it into a horror movie. With this past summer, came out with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1. They just came out and revealed a whole film universe based on public domain Disney characters, with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, because the first one was so good it deserves a sequel. And we got Bambi, The Reckoning, Peter Pan, Neverland Nightmare, Pinocchio, Unstrung, and to cap it all off, POOHNIVERSE, Monsters Assemble. All of this will be out and done by 2025, I believe. 2026.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to say.
Best
what to
best
think
title.
about it, but MCU walks so the POOHNIVERSE can run, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Which one's your favorite title?
Honestly, I'm very intrigued by Bambi the Reckoning. Just thinking of like the story of Bambi, like just a little deer and having the reckoning, I can't say the word now. Follow right behind it. It's just like, damn. Neverland Nightmare seems like predictable, but the Reckoning and I don't know, that one intrigues me the most.
Pinocchio's kind of dope.
I was gonna say that would be my second choice of
yeah,
I guess choosing that, or I was gonna go with that one, but it's one kind of goes hand in hand with strings.
I never would have thought Bambi and the Reckoning would ever be words that are in the title together. Like,
dude,
what a time.
Never would have thought that this whole universe would have even existed.
Yeah. Even a handful of years ago, you'd be like, okay, good.
I want to get
luck.
I feel like we need to show everybody the poster for this thing.
It is worth it. It is worth it.
Let me pull my screen share out real quick.
The POOHNIVERSE.
Just look at it. It looks pretty like it's a cool concept and like design, but man,
does POOHNIVERSE Monsters Assemble not give you Avengers vibes?
Oh, it does. It's obviously instead of monsters, even they even got the P to kind of look like an A. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
No, dude, I see that now. That's freaking nuts. But yeah, dude. Shout out to independent filmmakers and stuff, but
yeah,
I don't know. Some things just shouldn't be in public domain for everybody to make things with.
Yeah, that's. Oh, God knows what's gonna happen when it comes to um, Batman and
Oh yeah,
Superman,
I was
and
just thinking that, man.
when
Like,
that
gee.
hits, when that hits.
People get confused on how many Batman and Supermans are like right now with actual movies. Oh, I'm so scared for public domain works that just get somehow green light because someone gets a check.
Yeah.
But man, crazy.
But yeah, crazy times. But speaking of DC, we'll pop over into some DC updates. With the first one being something that we kind of knew and we've talked about, but it's just kind of confirmed and just out in the open. Patty Jenkins confirmed that DC Studios isn't interested in doing any Wonder Woman movies for the time being. Yeah. Like, thanks, Patty, for throwing that out there because we were all really begging for that one.
Especially after Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah. Listen, I know 84 kind of got a raw-ish deal from the standpoint of someone who's like, oh, I thought this was a great movie. You guys didn't love it? And it's like, no, not really. But it'll be interesting to see when Wonder Woman ultimately does show up in the DCU and kind of how they portray her version of it. Because I think there are a fair amount of people who are trying to get that Gal Gadot look, and they're just like, we can be Wonder Woman. And it's like, maybe that's not the Wonder Woman we're going to use. So we'll figure it out. For now, tons of great DCU stuff going on. Superman. We did get the first looks at the engineer on the set of Superman. They are doing their thing. Where are they right now? What, Norway, Sweden, somewhere in like the Icelandic countries, something like that. But first looks. How do we feel? I mean, obviously this isn't with any effects or anything, put on, but if this is going to be the costume for now,
I don't really know what like the engineer is supposed to look like, but to me it looks cool from just thinking of like superhero costume.
Yeah.
Maria Gabriela de Faria pulls it off pretty well. So
yeah, they've been working.
Exciting.
They've been training.
I'm surprised nobody's able to see the damn Superman suit yet. One day.
One day that's going to be our breaking news, but not too much else going on with DC. Stay tuned with us though. Definitely check back on the Point 3 socials, because as soon as we do get that Superman look, promise you the three of us are going to jump on that ASAP, because we have been waiting patiently, looking and scanning the mock-ups that have been done time and time again. David Cornswet might pull it off. Just might pull it off. So did you read any more All-Star?
I read like 10 pages on Sunday. I don't know if I talked about it on Monday or not. I did read like 10 pages on Sunday. I like it still. Still keeping me interested. Got my trusty steed right next to me too. Dude. There's still so much. Dude, this book is a freaking... It's not like a thick book, but I'm on page 158 out of 290, I think.
That's not bad.
Not bad. For
That's not bad at all.
293. So the way I've been reading it, and like the time I have to read it, this is a very good pace for me.
Yeah.
The last chapter I got to was freaking sick. Or the concept of what they did in the last one, amazing. It was... I would like to see Legacy do something, or the DCU Superman do something like what just happened.
Yeah.
For
like
spoiler purposes, I ain't gonna say much, but
don't.
It involves something that I never knew Superman was really involved with. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
A little mystery and intrigue around Superman. Okay. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. All right. Well, not too much else with DC, Spider-Man, no Marvel MCU updates. What do we have first?
We got animated Spider-Woman film series. Is still in development alongside a Sinister Six film slash series. I forgot exactly which ones they were. Oh, they're both films. Both
Yeah.
films.
I like that
Sony
they're
is
animated.
back. Yeah. I
That's-
am very, very likely and happy that they're animated. We can see to wonder if they're going to be tied into any Spider-Verse animations.
You would hope.
If Sony was smart, that's how they would do it. They had a little Easter egg with. We know there's that deleted scene with Spot and the Sinister Six, and everybody would love to see more Spider-Gwen, Spider-Woman, depending on exactly which Spider-Woman they do.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody would love to see more of her story. That would be a hit easily.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Sony, do something right and stick to your animated goodness.
Run. Listen. You have. If there was ever a universe to spin off of, easy, ready made. I mean, can you imagine if we ultimately got that 2099 Spider-Gwen Spot finding new villains, and like there's tons of stuff that they can do off of this. So
Oh yeah.
I hope that they follow through with it and give us some kind of independent stories. But yeah, I'll definitely take more for sure. Next up we have Nathan Felder reportedly will join MCU's Blade as Nathan Blade, and that was via IndieWire. More of the guy in the chair type of character. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Until I start seeing more stuff about Blade that comes out, and that's more concrete, and really, I guess I'm saying until a trailer comes out for Blade, I will take majority of Blade news with a grain of salt. Because anytime we get a Mahershala Ali updates, it's like, hey, he's happy again. He's happy, and it's just like, does this guy really not want to be a part of this project? Oh,
It's all very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Blade, and our next thing actually has something to do with Blade about reports saying it's no longer going to be a period piece after rewrites. Via Can We Get Toast on Twitter, or X, I should say. Interesting stuff. You know, this movie's just, it's gonna be a movie. Like, only think of it once as we get closer to it. Not really worth looking too into all the rumors and all that, you know.
Again, like here's I don't know if we're going to get to it, but we can touch on I think it was something interesting that came out for the Nova news. I think we were talking about this last week, but I think people are missing something to where one of the executives was saying, hey, just because something's in development does not mean that it's going to make it to production and then ultimately to, a film or TV show. So as Marvel Studios starts taking things and I guess kind of fitting more as a traditional studio, we're going to be hearing so many more rumors and news and all that kind of stuff to where we're going to get hyped about it, but we may never see it. And it could just kind of sit on the cutting room floor and never get the green light. So a lot of things are changing within Marvel Studios in terms of who is pushing the projects forward. And maybe at SDCC we'll get a better idea of, the updated timeline and projects that are in play for the end of phase 5 and 6. But for now, Blade's going to be in that category for me until they finally get us a teaser trailer, something, and we see Mahershala Ali literally as Blade, I just...
Dude, they have a lot to do with freaking STCC this year.
Yeah. STCC is gonna be big. I think real quick, Rome's...
Oh, you hit that. We clicked that.
0.3 certified on the clicks. I saw this drop, but I have not watched a trailer first clips.
I don't even know what that means. I'm gonna be 100%.
You know, the Alien movies that have always... Yeah, it's so like this movie, its title is Alien
like
Romulus.
they have like Alien like Prometheus. No. Yeah.
But I was like, at first when I read it, I thought Alan. I was like, Alan Romulus. I was like, I don't know him. I was like, is this a guy we should know? Like, yeah, he just got casted in Blade or something. Sounds like a dope Blade villain, though. I'm not gonna lie.
It does.
No, we have not. Check out our socials. We have some reviews coming up. Yeah, some longer form social media stuff, but we're missing a third of our trio. So once we all get together, we'll have some stuff on that out. What do we have next?
So we got Marvel Studios apparently wants Mr. Sinister as the main villain in the X-Men reboot film. I'm sold. I don't know. Actually, I don't know much about Mr. Sinister.
You're gonna be triple sold after. So the original 97, I really like Sinister. Comics really like Sinister. There are a couple flashes and teases of him for 97. If they carry everything over from 97, I will just please, like, yes, just do it. Mr. Sinister would be insane, personally, but I don't want to give too many spoilers, but I'll put it this way. I think Sinister is a really good choice because there are people that know him, and we haven't really ever seen a live action adaptation to where he's on the scale that he probably should be, but he's new enough to where fans of the MCU will be introduced to him for the first time, and it could easily surge to one of their favorite live action villains if he's kind of like a saga long villain or something along those lines. Like, just think about this for a second. We could potentially have Doom, a Magneto, Mr. Sinister, and that's not even talking about like Avengers villains, like other characters. Like, these could be staple characters that we see as antagonists for a lot of projects. And just
freaking fire lineup right there.
Oh my gosh, yeah. On every facet. I'm telling you guys, watch X-Men 97 and just listen to these voice actors. They're so good. They're so good. Oh, they're so good. 100%. Lots of content to watch. So much content. We do our best to stay up to date on as much as we can. Ooh, this is juicy. This is juicy for everyone watching. Drop in the comments what you think about this next piece. We have a fair amount of MCU projects that are on the chopping block. Eternals 2, potentially. Could be turned into something else. Ant-Man 4, getting the chop. And then Captain Marvel is reportedly... Captain Marvel 3 reportedly is not happening. So, Spider Brando, my question for you and everyone who's watching live with the Point 3 podcast, we appreciate you. Is this a mistake? Is it a mistake to not give us an Eternals 2? Is it a mistake to not have an Ant-Man 4? Would it be a mistake not to have a Captain Marvel 3?
I'd say for the latter two, it's not a mistake. I feel like Ant-Man's next story could be finished up in like another Avengers movie. He's used to being
Yeah.
in and out team project stuff. And same thing for Captain Marvel. I don't think the rest of her story deserves a full feature-length film. They barely even gave her a full feature-length film in the second one. And that was with 2 other characters.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with those 2 not happening, but Eternals 2, I would be disappointed. Unless they have a main role in their next whatever project they pop up in. So I'd like to see more of their team and more of what they set up from the first movie that I forgot most things that happened in because it's been so long since they've ever been referenced. But
Yeah.
that I feel like proves the point even more that their project should happen because we still need to see where they go. And one project within like 5-6 years and then just get thrown into someone else's project, not really sit right too much.
Yeah, I agree. Rome's he's saying Captain Marvel could have Thor Ragnarok or turn into a Marvel's movie instead. Ant-Man's done after the last one unless it goes back to basics. I think that's kind of what we discussed last week when we were kind of touching on some of these future projects. I know that we want to see where Eternals goes. And I think Eternals could at least continue to expand on the universal side, the cosmic side of the MCU. Ant-Man 4, I don't love the entire Ant-Man crew. Would I like to see Ant-Man and Wasp again? Sure, but do I need to see Hank and Janet? And no, like the Quantum Realm.
Janet after the last movie, she pissed me off.
Heck yeah. She's like, oh, by the way, I didn't tell you that there's this really bad guy somewhere, but I was just doing him, so I didn't want to say anything. It's like, yeah, okay, well, you just potentially costed, the multiverse its chance, but sure. No, Ant-Man should not get his own movie back. Eternals, yes. Captain Marvel, I'm on the fence about Captain Marvel. And the only reason why I'm on the fence about Captain Marvel is I think that there could be a play if she goes and she tries to chase down Monica. That's my only thing, is if they kind of take that story and it's not necessarily focused on Captain Marvel in a way, but the Marvels 2 or something like that. I think that would be fine.
I would be fine with.
I'd be down for that.
Even if it's just her like pretty much training up Miss Marvel. I would like that. I meant mainly as like a pure like just Brie Larson Captain Marvel only solo movie or like 3.
No, but at the same time, I think that's kind of done for the MCU. I think that they're at a point now where solo films shouldn't be solo films. They should be hardcore crossovers. And you should have 3 to 4 heroes and kind of have your core villains in these shows and movies. We're going to get to the deep dive here in just a second and kind of touch on a little bit more about MCU villains. But first, before we do that, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider reportedly will not return to the MCU as Ghost Rider. Spider-Brando question, who would you like to see casted as Ghost Rider in the MCU?
Nicolas Cage. Nah.
Wow. Oh, dude.
I would like to see Nicolas Cage come back as Ghost Rider, just for some fan service stuff. But as like pure Ghost Rider, I don't know, man. I've been seeing a lot of Ryan Gosling rumors recently, and I don't know how to feel about that. I kind of like it, but kind of don't like it at the same time.
Depends on the story that they tell with him.
Yeah.
But I don't foresee Ghost Rider ever having a solo movie. And for that reason, I think that they should pull someone that's much more grittier, that falls into that Son of Anarchy type role.
Oh yeah.
I loved like a Charlie Hunnam. For him, he was always kind of like my go-to, but
Ooh, Charlie, that would be cool.
I don't think it really matters too much of who they cast
I feel
long
like they
term.
should go just someone that's not famous for once, or not like not famous, but like an underdog type person. Like they don't need a star caliber person for Ghost
Yeah.
Rider. Just the name Ghost Rider is gonna sell on its own.
Yeah. Rome says he wants to see Danny Ketch. He has better villains and storylines, and just keep Nick as Johnny and make it a buddy cop road movie. Ooh. Okay.
Interesting.
Dill, maybe on the same wavelength here. 0.3 certified.
That's
Charlie
what it seems
Hunnam for
like.
Ghost Rider. Here's the only other thing I'll say about this. Ghost Rider is a character that I feel like may not benefit from overexposure from the human aspect of things. I don't think at this point a solo film would do him justice. I think he needs to be included in some things, especially if they kind of go the Midnight Suns route. Put him in a Moon Knight, put him in a Blade, something along those lines, and have him kind of be that roadie to an Iron Man type of character first. But he just seems to be badass, like plain and simple. Whoever's casted, whatever they do, is just make him badass. Have him have his moments, and a lot of his moments are going to be VFX and CGI and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, if they did practical effects, I mean, God, for Ghost, oh my gosh! But yeah, it's where we're at today in the MCU. Get him in there as quickly as you can for good spurts. But I'd be okay if they didn't cast a new Ghost Rider and we just got a legacy version for Nick Cage. I still think that'd be cool, even though the second one was bought. But
Well, they could always just retcon it and be like, "Oh yeah, he was the character, but like that movie doesn't exist." However, the multiverse, baby.
100%. All right, we got our last piece of news. But really quickly, we want to thank all of you for watching the Point 3 podcast here on YouTube, joining us weekly. Don't forget to join our Discord over Point 3 Podcast. I know a lot of you who are watching are already a part of that. We appreciate each and every one of you. It helps us do this on a weekly basis because you guys interact, and we know that you're massive fans and nerd out just like we do. But nerd out with us here for our last piece since we get into our deep dive. We've touched on this before, but it has resurfaced. Kang. That's right. Kang the Conqueror is reportedly still going to be the villain of Avengers 5 and will appear in Secret Wars alongside another major villain. This comes courtesy of the Point 3 podcast's favorite insider, Daniel RPK. Daniel Richmond. Spider Brando, how do you feel that Kang is still going to be attached to Avengers 5? And what villain would you like to see Kang attached to?
Ooh.
Wait, I have a little caveat. Rome's, if you're still in here listening, I think we've touched on who we think should be this villain that they're attached to. So I'm curious if you remember that conversation. Drop it in the chat. Let us know.
Wow.
Spider-Man.
I am happy that Kang is still going to be involved.
Yes.
I know we've talked after the whole title drop thing many times. We've talked so much about Kang this, Kang that. It just feel like it wouldn't feel right if they just completely just dropped the Kang storyline like entirety.
100%.
And it just makes sense for them to go about it this way. And kind of like have Kang be the villain for maybe the first half of the movie, and then an even bigger bad comes in, like Doctor Doom, who will be answering my second part to the question. Because it just makes sense from a Secret Wars adaptation to do a Kang Doom type storyline. And it makes sense with Fantastic Four, even Eternals, and potentially like Celestials and Galactus could tie into it. It just makes sense for Doom to come in and be next big bad. Because we all freaking want that. I don't think there's not one person in that as an MCU fan that doesn't want Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
So, much of a repeat that is, I'm still going down with Doom.
Okay. I don't know how Doom and Kang would fit, because I think Kang instantly becomes the B character. And Rome's dropping a point on us. Baron Zemo. Fun fact, we just talked about Zemo as we did our MC redo that we are currently editing, that should be dropping to YouTube here shortly. But Zemo, that's interesting.
That's wild.
That is interesting. We're gonna shelve that, and we're gonna talk about that one, because that's okay.
My thoughts.
Yeah.
On that.
I'm gonna go back to a character that I think is kind of pre-canned and ready-made. Fair point. He did break up the Avengers. He broke them so hard that they just still aren't around. So
that is true.
Maybe he is the most impactful MCU. Thanos or Zemo, who did it better? Yeah, that's big. I'm going to Nihilus. On this. I know now with the Jonathan Majors, recasting, right? If Kang shows up again, he's done. I think they had a ready-made storyline with the ants, with the quantum realm, with the aging and the technology, and just Annihilus has been there, right? Kang was sent there. There was something that happened to where you get Kang to still feel big, but you get Annihilus and do a pseudo-annihilation wave story to where you have multiple... I think about Infinity War. You had Thanos, you had the Black Order, you had all the Chitauri and the Outriders and all those aliens for tons of characters to fight, and it gives you a reason to kind of have a big scale battle on an Avengers level where you have kind of a 1A, 1B type of antagonists in a way to kind of tie some things up and pull in from different aspects. So could be a good choice. Cosmic Universe, I mean, I think that's the thing, is like you can do so many things with Annihilus, and it's another one of those characters like we were mentioning with Mr. Sinister, to where MCU proper fans and live action onlys aren't going to have really much foundation for who Annihilus is and what happens with those storylines. So could be cool. Dill, the Beyonders being Kang replacements. I think naturally that would make sense for Secret Wars, for what Kang's trying to do, having Doom. Part of me feels like the Beyonders are too OP for the MCU today. And I don't know if I would be sold on them or even like a God Emperor Doom, because I'm really stuck on the Fantastic Four and how they handle Silver Surfer and Galactus. And I know that sounds weird, and it's like, well, why should that matter? Probably two of the more powerful characters that the MCU will introduce at scale. Like, Silver Surfer is going to smoke most people, and Galactus is obviously a world ender. Yeah. Uh, so, yeah, I don't know. Getting the Watcher to show up at the end of an Avengers movie, that'd be legit. Fantastic Four explains it. Fantastic Four, if you've been following the Point 3 podcast, Fantastic Four needs to put in some work in 2025.
Oh, yes, it does.
So stuff like this, I think that's a possibility. What do you think?
I don't know much of Annihilus's power scaling, but compared to like a Galactus or Silver Surfer, but I do know them two homeboys, they be powerful as shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, Galactus would be cool. If they do like a multiversal Galactus that just kind of goes around the multiverse eating planets or eating like Kang's trail would be pretty cool. But
Kind of like
I don't know.
it.
I had a theory when you were talking about your stuff of another villain too. A multiversal Mephisto that goes around and tries to control all the Wanda to create
yo
massive like what was I gonna finish that off with? No.
Yeah,
The
what did he
multiversal
use?
Mephisto. Yeah. The dark hole? No. Well, obviously. I forgot what the term was to control Wanda, but essentially just to want to like get all the Scarlet Witches or as many powerful people as he can to be under his control. It'd be pretty cool.
I think Mephisto would be a cool one because remember, I think we talked about it last week where there's a report where there's going to be a character that essentially is like that, what we knew as a Nexus being, where there's only one of them in every universe. Like there's one important character, and if they get removed, then essentially that universe dies or something, right? It'd be cool if that was a villain in a way, because I think that would put everyone in kind of a pickle of like, you can't kill them, but you can't stop them kind of thing, you know? Like that's just kind of that trickster type of thing that
would be awesome.
That would be really tough to navigate. Exactly, manipulating events and really give us that piece that they didn't give us in the Infinity Saga that I think we were all kind of expecting, of like a Mephisto in Thanos' ear versus a Mephisto in Kang's ear. I think that'd be sick.
Wouldn't be. But yeah, we got some fun stuff coming in the MCU, hopefully. Gotta wait way too long for it though.
What's the hype level for Deadpool Wolverine still?
Still 10.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go under 10 because it comes out like 3 days before my birthday. So it's gonna be 10 until then.
Yeah.
And I always use Galactus as his own planet. Oh dude. Wow. I did not know that. Holy crap.
Annihilus is legit. But here's the thing. Annihilus is one of those characters that he needs time. It needs time to develop that story. And so that's kind of why I go pulling him into King, because I think you can tell that story a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's right now, boom, this is it right here for me. X-Men 97. That's just, it's gold. It is gold. And if they come anything close to this feel, right? Having that, I just want to say the quote again. And Rome's, I think you missed this one earlier, but you remember probably from what Cyclops said. But trust happens when actions meet words. and you have this prove it mentality for Cyclops, taking the position of leading the X-Men after Professor X is gone. All of these characters have their own identity, and the way that they mesh and blend them in literally 20 minutes to just push the entire story forward beyond what we saw in the trailers, so good. So good. So good. Watch it. And at the end of this live stream, if you've watched it, watch it again. If you haven't watched it, watch it for the first time. Let us know. Hop over to the Point 3 podcast on Instagram. Send us a message. Drop it in anywhere you can. It's just facts. The show had quotable moments, dude. I have half page written down. So good. So good.
It's awesome though.
Well, do we have anything else for this week's news?
I don't think so. I think we covered.
I think we got most of it.
All the major stuff, yeah.
Got most of it. Well, with that, everyone, thank you for joining this Wednesday live stream. Stay tuned to our Point 3 socials for the latest news and updates. We will see you all next week, Wednesday, 9:05 Eastern. And as always, 3 important things that every single one of you have to keep doing, and that is to keep watching, keep reading, and keep nerding out. We will see you next week.